What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to 32 Teams, where I'll review all 32 teams in the NHL after 2022-23 season. This section consists of an overview, the regular season, postseason, player stats, and my overall opinion about the team. We finished the Western Conference, and now we're in the Eastern Conference. Today, we review the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's get started. In 2022-2023, the NHL season for the Toronto Maple Leafs was the team's 106th season. Following the Ottawa Senators' victory over the Florida Panthers on March 27, 2023, the Maple Leafs secured their postseason berth. The Maple Leafs defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round series on April 29th, making the team's first playoff series victory since 2004. The Florida Panthers defeated the Maple Leafs in 5 games during the second round. Throughout the postseason, the Maple Leafs made significant progress. The squad made great progress after 2 decades of postseason failures. It progressed to the second round and defeated Tampa Bay Lightning in the series. The coaching wasn't that great this season. Additionally, head coach Sheldon Keefe must take responsibility for the team's collapse. Throughout the team's difficult moments, he appeared to have trouble coming up with reliable line combinations. In certain cases, I will acknowledge opposing coaches outcoached him. Furthermore, I'm not sure if Keefe's fertility in inspiring the squad contributed to the players' lack of success. I consider the players the team had access to be their greatest asset. The defense was at its strongest point ever. The team's depth is the same. Still, the players should take some blame for the performances in crucial postseason situations. It's unlikely that their aggregate statistics accurately despite their outcomes of individual games, but Matthews was unable to carry over his round 1 triumph into round 2. He simply appeared to vanish. Mitch Marner didn't seem to be able to maintain his own momentum, and his play was erratic. The Maple Leafs started the season with a 4-3 loss against the Habs. They won their first game against the Capitals 3-2. In the month of October, they struggled a little bit. They lost the last 4 games of the season, which resulted in them their month record of 4-4-2, which wasn't the greatest. Obviously, it's just a starting month, and it will take time to finally settle in. To prove this, look at their next month, November. November was one of the greatest months in the NHL has seen this season. They ended the month with a 5-game winning streak and had a record of 11-1-3. December was also a really good month. They kept their consistency throughout the year, which resulted of the monthly record of 8-3-1. The end of the year was a 23-8-6 record. This was a very good record, which fully shows that they were capable of making the playoffs again. The players were great and didn't look like they slowed down. Let's see if they can continue to improve the record. In January, it looked great. They had a slightly better record than in December with an 8-4-2 record. In February, it was basically the same thing. Good games and good wins. In March, they kept their consistency, and because of the amazing record that they have, they were able to make the playoffs. The rest of April really didn't matter since the leader of the Atlantic Division was the Bruins, and they weren't going to lose, so they were going to stay second. Regardless, April was good. Their last 4 games were all wins. They played their last game against the Rangers and won 3-2. Their overall season record is 50, 21, 11, or 111 points, clinching them the second place spot in the Atlantic Division. The Maple Leafs are to play against the third place team in the Atlantic Division, which are the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning have been to the Cup final the last 3 seasons and won 2 of the 3 finals. The Lightning are very experienced, and it will be tough for the Maple Leafs. However, the Leafs have many great players such as Marner, Nylander, and Matthews, who can really improve this team, and can definitely lead this team to win the series. It will be a tough battle. Will the Leafs finally win the first round since 2004? Let's see. In Game 1, the Leafs struggled badly and lose 7-3. Not the greatest start. In Game 2, they came back and won big time 7-2, not equalizing the series. In Game 3, it was a close game that goes to overtime, but they were able to score in overtime, giving them that win 4-3. In Game 4 is another very close game that goes to overtime, and the Leafs are able to win it again 5-4. The Leafs are currently have a 3-1 series lead. They are just one win away from moving up to the conference semifinals. Hopefully, they don't blow the series again like they did in 2021 against the Habs. In Game 5, the Leafs lose 4-3, making the series 3-2, still in their favor. In Game 6, the Leafs score in the second period. Then the third, the Lightning score, making it 1-1. The play until the final horn is heard. It is still 1-1 after regulation, meaning there is overtime. Again, for the third time this series. Both teams fight their hardest, and 4 minutes and 36 seconds into the game, John Tavares is able to score for the Leafs, winning them the series. The Leafs finally win the series after 19 years. In the second round, the Leafs play against the Panthers. The Panthers were second in the wild card. that just defeated the Boston Bruins. The Bruins were the best team the NHL has ever seen, and the Panthers are able to eliminate them in 7 games. They are currently on fire, and it'll be very tough to beat this team. In Game 1, the Panthers win 4-2. In Game 2, the game is close, but the Panthers win it again 3-2. In Game 3, the game is 2-2 and goes to overtime. In overtime, the Panthers score, now giving them a 3-0 lead just like that. The Leafs need to do something. They are just one game away from being eliminated from the playoffs, and I know they don't want to be out. In Game 4, the Leafs slightly improved their game and are able to stay alive and win 2-1. Game 5 happened and is really close. The game was tied 2-2 and went to overtime. But in overtime, the Panthers score, winning them the series and eliminating the Leafs from the playoffs, which ends their Leafs season. The point leader for the Leafs is Mitch Marner with 99 points in 80 games. He had over a point a game and nearly hit 100 points. This was his career high in assists and points. He is a key part of this team and is a really good playmaker, which makes sense why he has so many assists. Next in line is Julian Nylander with 87 points in 82 games. He had a pretty even number of goals and assists, where he had 40 goals and 47 assists, which shows that he's a good player all around the ice. A player must have great vision and good goal scoring in order to do this. Next is Austin Matthews with 85 points in 74 games. He is an elite goal scorer with the Leafs and is tied with Nylander for most goals for Toronto this season. His shot is deadly and can easily pierce through any goalie. John Tavares is another great piece to this team. He had 80 points in 80 games, and like Nylander, is pretty even with their goals and assists. There are more good players on this team, such as Michael Bunting, Ryan O'Reilly, and Morgan Riley. Now, let's move on to the goalies. Now, the Leafs actually have a lot of goalies this season, but Jet Alexander doesn't really count. He only played a minute and 10 seconds in one game on April 8th, 2023 against the Habs. That really doesn't count. I mean, he didn't even play the whole game. Now, Joseph Wool. Now, it looks like he only played 7 games, but these 7 games are pretty crucial. I mean, to the regular season, they weren't. But he actually played 3 of the last few games against the Panthers in the playoffs. He played game 3, 4, and 5, which is actually very, very tough, especially that this guy only played 7 games in the regular season. And he actually had a pretty good stat. In 7 games, he was 6-1-0. He had 2.16 goals allowed average and a .932 save percentage, which is really good. And even though he only played 7 games, which isn't really enough to really show his true save percentage, that's still really good. And that's really good. And even the playoffs, all 3 games he played went to overtime, except the one he won. The 2 games that they lost went to overtime, which showed they played pretty good throughout the whole game. And they also won a game, only allowing 1 goal. So Joseph Wool was pretty good. Next is Eric Kallgren. Uh, Kallgren played most of his games in the beginning of the season. He was 9, 3, 2, and 4. 2.67 goals allowed average and .898 save percentage. Save percentage not that well, but goals allowed average pretty good. Matt Murray, he was 14, 8, and 2. He had 3.01 goals allowed average and .903 save percentage. Really not, that's really like not that, it's okay. It's really like a pretty decent stat. 3 goals average, .903 save percentage, really decent. And then their main goalie, Ilya Samsonov, played over half of their games just by 1 game. 40 games, 27-10-5 record, pretty good. 2.33 goals allowed average and a .919 save percentage. Really good stats for Ilya Samsonov. Obviously, as a starter or the goalie that plays most of the games, it's expected to be good and it's expected to have these stats. And it's really good for Samsonov. Great goalie for this team. Has a great defense around it. And Samsonov can make those good saves and pretty reliable goalie for the Leafs. Now let's move on to the team stats. For face-off win percentage, Maple Leafs are 4th with 53% face-off win percentage. Really good. As in top 5. Shots against, you want low shots against. Toronto's 26, 29 and a half shots per game. Pretty good. You need a higher shots per game. Do they have higher than 29 and a half? Do they? Very offensive team. Where is Toronto? 12, 32 shots. That is over. That is good. You need over. Penalty kill. The penalty kill. Where is Toronto? 12th with 81.9%. That's pretty good penalty kill. It says it is in the mid table, but as you can see here, there's not big of a difference between 6 and 12, so it's pretty decent. Power play, Toronto is second right under Edmonton with 32%. It's crazy. But 26% power play is pretty good. It's really good, actually. It's over a quarter. And so if you get four power plays, you at least score one. So that's really good of a power play. Goals allowed, Toronto want to be in the lower end in this stat. Are they? Yes, they are. 2.68 goals on average. One goals for be over 2.68. Yes, it is 3.39. So obviously these stats show that they're a very offensive team, have a great power play, great faceoff win percentage, 111 points this season. A great season for Toronto, able to win their first round in 20 this year since 2004. Very good season for Toronto. Unfortunately, it didn't go so far, but it is hockey. It happens. Great season. Now, what's my overall opinion about this team? I think the Maple Leafs are a great team that should stay great for a couple of years. They have many great players on this team that really hold this team together. Marner, Nylander, and Austin Matthews, and John Tavares are these players. Most of these players are experienced enough but aren't too old, which is perfect because most of the time they're in their prime or soon to be in their prime. I just don't see them doing bad or okay next season. I see them doing great. On my last note, the Leafs are a great team that fans should not worry about anytime soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm trying to get this video a little bit early. I got time, so make this video. Toronto. Next is gonna be my favorite episode ever on this 30 team series. Is New Jersey Devils, my team. Maybe the longest video I'm gonna make this whole series. So expect that. Probably expect 15 minutes. Like this, I'm gonna talk a lot about this Devils team. Some unscripted, some scripted. So yeah, I hope for that. But for this video, if you liked it, like give it a like. Even, I even take a dislike. If you don't dislike it, then at least dislike it. So it shows that I have to improve. But yeah, comment down below your opinion if you agree or you don't, or any thoughts about this Maple Leaf season. And yeah, I'm sure I'll reply. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you stay safe and I hope you have a great day. See you.